and welcome to Tech Diva Biz Talks, where we tune in, dive deep, and level up. I'm your host, Audrey Wiggins, aka the Tech Diva, brand strategist, marketing mind, and your guide through the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. Let's talk tech. Hello, Tech Diva Nation. Welcome to another episode, and I want you to meet Drewbie Wilson. He's a devoted husband, a proud father, and living proof that excellence is a daily choice, not a destination. Once weighing over 300 pounds, Drewbie transformed his health and his life, dropping more than 100 pounds without fad diets or shortcuts. He's an action-driven leader whose mission is to serve others while crushing goals in every arena. From tech support to a startup to vice president of a multi-million-dollar consulting company, Drewbie knows what it means to climb from the ground up with grit, gratitude, and guts. Armed with confidence, fueled by empathy, and powered by mottos that motivate the masses. Call the damn leads and crush the day before it crushes you. Okay, I'm pretending like I have all of, his energy, but he's going to bring it for you. Okay, here we go. All right, he's here to help entrepreneurs, you and me, step up, show up, and live full out. So we'll hear from Drewbie on the other side of this message from my business, All Together Marketing.
Knock out your competition with All Together Marketing. We elevate your brand. Take a stance with your business name, logo, the tagline, your colors, even the fonts for your business. And then jab left with your website, jab right with core values. Back up with product experience and bring it on with you. Visit alltogether.biz and let us help you create a knockout brand.
Welcome, Drewbie, to Tech Diva Biz Talks.
Audrey, thank you so much for having me. I am just absolutely thrilled to be here with you. I can already tell from your energy we are going to have an awesome call today. So excited.
Yes. Had a lot of decaf this morning.
I got back from the gym not too long ago, so I still got all my adrenaline and serotonin going. So I'm feeling good and ready to go.
I know your little blood cells are running around all crazy. Oh, that's cool. All right. Okay. So name one personal fun fact that you would like to share with the Tech Diva Nation.
I have the tattoo Meme Lord across my knuckles because I have helped thousands of business owners and entrepreneurs use memes in their sales and follow-up process to make more money. And it's one of the silliest things that I can absolutely think of on the planet. And so I have cemented myself as a meme lord across my knuckles and very excited to share that with people because they always think it's crazy.
Yeah, that is. But that's awesome. I love it. All right, Drewbie, we're going to crush today with some conversation starters. You already know the answers, but let's just go through it for the audience. All right?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So you live and breathe crush today. How does that mindset show up in your morning routine and daily grind?
For me, crushing the day is really coming in knowing that if I'm not careful and I don't get the things done that I know need to get done, it's real easy to get distracted and have all sorts of outside influences kind of take us away from what's important, right? Social media and the news and all these things. And so what I realized in my own life is that if I want to have a successful day, if I want to crush the day, as I like to say, then I know I have to get up. I need to drink water right away. I need to make sure that I'm praying and giving thanks for God for another day to be up and moving. And then I got to go and work out. Because as you had mentioned in my introduction, which was wonderful, thank you. At one point in my life, I was very, very overweight. I was unhealthy. I was unhappy. I just wasn't showing up with what I know I'm capable of. And so I got that download and was like, hey, you need to get up. You need to get motivated as soon as you can, and you need to get out the door and move your body. Because if you don't do it early, it's a lot harder to do later in the day. And when I started living that way and just getting up and listening to more positive content like this amazing podcast, by the way, that's the stuff that it really set me in motion to have a better mindset around what was going on. Because in life, there's things that you can't control and there's things that you can control. And your mindset and the way that you look at things in front of you as either an opportunity and a blessing or as a curse and a struggle, that's ultimately going to determine how your day goes. And if you can be grateful for everything that you have, and you can get up and move your body and actually be happy about that opportunity, then it's interesting how that starts to bleed over into the other areas of your life, your relationships, your business, your health, like all of it plays in synchronicity. And so to me, I want to wake up, I want to do the hard things. And then when I go to bed at night, I want to be able to look myself in the mirror and say, hey, did you crush it today? Did you give it your all? Did you do everything that you said you were going to do and do it with as much excellence as possible? If so, then feel good going to sleep because heaven forbid if you don't wake up tomorrow, you know you did everything you could today.
That is awesome. I love that. Your those daily habits, waking up, sip some water, pray, give thanks, get up and and work out because I know I'm just the opposite, not with the water and the praying part, but in the evening, I usually work out in the evening. That's crazy. So
Everybody's is different, right? So that's the
yeah.
thing that's cool about success is it's a perspective. Our versions might be slightly different than each other's, but we'll both agree on certain aspects of it that, hey, this is important. This is important. These are the things. As long as you're checking these boxes every day in our version of success, then you're successful. And that's what I think is so awesome about this realm of sales and entrepreneurship and building businesses is once you get into the habit of I want to live this way, and these are the things that I want to focus on achieving. More often than not, if you're doing the work, you're going to get it. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Oh my goodness. So let's move on now to social media. It clearly fuels your success. So what's your secret sauce for mastering it without getting lost in the noise?
It's kind of a two-part answer. One, when it comes to social media, you got to remember it is a platform where your goal is to share things about your life. And when you start using it intentionally, instead of just showing up and scrolling and watching cat videos and, goofing off and watching silly things, which we've all done, but when you start thinking about it as a tool to share your story, to share your products and services, and to genuinely connect with other people, it is a very, very powerful tool where you can build a brand, you can become an influencer, you can connect with your potential clients who need your product and services, depending upon what it is. There's a niche group for everyone and everything out there. The secret is just knowing how to find it and how to start creating the content that's engaging, educational, entertaining, and it mixes in with what those other people on the platform are looking for so that you can be top of mind and they can become brand aware. And so it's kind of it's a multi-layered approach, but the idea is if you're a cool person offline and you can start telling the stories and having the conversations that you would normally have with people in person, but you can do it online and people from all over the world or all over your town or wherever you're trying to connect can see that, then the odds of you having enough conversations to build your brand, sell your products, whatever that looks like, it's a numbers game. And that's what's cool about it is when you start to see here's how the algorithm works and here's how creating certain types of content get better engagement with this type of audience on this platform. And you can go so many layers deep to understanding how to leverage their super algorithm to help get yourself in front of the right people.
All right. So you're known for saying call the damn leads.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh my goodness. Can you share a real life win where that simple phrase made a massive difference?
Just one?
Okay, if you got two, I'll
No,
take it.
honestly, for me, where it makes a massive difference is when someone sends a message to me at an event or they're stepping into someone's office or, they're out and about and they meet someone else who's wearing our Call the Damn Leads brand. It lets me know that people are connecting on a deeper level and that we all embrace this understanding that when it comes to business, you have to be doing the outreach. You have to be calling the damn leads if you want to be successful. And to me, I think the big impact on it is knowing there are millions of sales professionals out there who understand that in order to be successful, this is one major aspect of the job.
Now, have you run into a case, or have you done this? I know I'm guilty of this, so I'm asking. You called the lead, you met with the person, and then somehow you just froze when that next piece of the follow up. So you just threw away the money.
Oh man, I could beat myself up about that all day long. However, it's part of why I teach people the processes that we do with our programs and our services, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of noise. You mentioned it earlier about social media, right? There's noise. We got emails and texts and things and messages and advertisements and all sorts of stuff going on around us all day long. And when it comes to follow up specifically, a lot of times we're not doing it because it's not top of mind. We've done the thing, we've moved on to the next task, we've done 5 other things, and by the time it's to go back, we're not being reminded. So it's all about using the systems, the processes, the routines in order to be more consistent with your follow up. So if you have a way to automate some of those reminders or some of those messages so that it's still going out on your behalf, but your job is just to show up every now and then and see when the CRM says, hey, here's who you need to call and at what day and time, all you're doing is just checking that box and being like, yep, I called them, I did my follow up. Now, where some people freeze more often than not is they didn't close it on the first conversation. And now they sort of feel awkward calling to see if the individual still wants to work together.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I think that is where, to me, it really comes back to service-based sales. Like if you know your product or your service is 100% the solution to the issue that person is having, then you should be so passionate that you want to call them and be like, hey, did you solve it? Because if you haven't, I'm still here to help. If you did and it was with someone else, no big deal. I'd be love to know why, just out of curiosity. But I'm so glad to hear that, right? The genuinely caring about people, that's the part where people are missing it because they're kind of thinking it as a transaction and not as a true relationship.
Leadership and energy that go hand in hand. So, how do you infuse the crush today philosophy into the way you lead your team?
It's really about sharing with them the idea of structure and then a system and a routine so that you know, hey, here's my non-negotiables that have to be done every day. Here's the things that we can automate, delegate, or eliminate from our lives that, are a part of this big machine that we're running every day. And ultimately, it's just reminding the individuals on our team, like, hey, you're capable of amazing things. Are you showing up with intention? Are you being aware of the things that you can continue to improve on a small bit every day, right? None of us are perfect. I'd love to say that I don't enjoy a sweet treat and all the things as far as like, from a fitness standpoint. I'd love to sit here and say that I never don't follow up with a lead because there are certainly things right now that have probably fallen through the cracks. Nobody's perfect. But if I just show up every day with the idea, hey, we're going to set this baseline of what's a non-negotiable for us. And as long as we're continuing to raise that bar every now and then, we're continuously improving. And most of the team gets the buy-in because they understand, hey, I came here to be a part of this team because I want to improve. And so if I embody the mindset, then people, we've got case studies and testimonials and all sorts of things that show, people who go this path and start embodying it, then they have better lives. So that's kind of if you live the example and set the example and you're always trying to operate with excellence, then people buy in and they want to be a part of that too.
Great. Thank you. So, when it comes to personal branding online, what are your top power moves for turning posts into profits?
Yes. So this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about being genuine and building your brand and having those conversations. So I think the secret is really understanding that people are on social media because they want to be entertained and then they want to be educated, right? Sometimes we like to watch the videos on the recipes that they're making, or we like to watch different, business trainings with different people who have knowledge in this. Like everybody's preferences are a little bit different, but if you understand your core audience is on this platform in order to be entertained by certain types of people or to be educated by certain types of people, how can your content specifically be catered around what those people are looking for so that you can start to build that relationship. And then really the secret is just being who you are so that people see you, they know you, they like you, they trust you, they reach out because they enjoy who you are as a person and say, hey, I'd like to know more about your product or services. And what's interesting about social media is that people are there to be entertained and educated, but they're still also okay being advertised to now and then, or they wouldn't be cool with every third scroll being an advertisement to buy something. So we all understand that we're there to be sold to. It's just, can we make it feel like it's not that high pressure sale? Can we make them feel like, hey, I continuously see Audrey talking about these things. I know she's the expert in this field. Seeing and becoming aware that I have this problem that she could help me with, I should probably reach out. And so if you make a post now and then saying, hey, this is what we do and how we help people, and here's a story about something that recently happened, and if this resonates with you, reach out. I'd love to have a conversation. They're going to be okay with you creating that kind of content, so long as everything else that you put out there is really helping them continue to understand their journey.
Thank you. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll be right back with Drewbie, called the damn Leads Wilson.
Did you know 99% of people check their email every day, up to 20 times a day? It's the first thing people do online, even before looking at social media or other news. But viewers retain only 10% of what they read. Adding video to your email, their retention skyrockets to 95%. Video plus email equals success. It's time. The future of email is here. Goodbye, email. Hello, video email. Ready to ride the wave? Visit altogether.podfusion.com.
We're back with Drewbie. Drewbie, our next question here that I have for you is, how did the Call the Damn Leaps movement reshape your sales approach, and what can entrepreneurs learn from it?
For me, it was really understanding that there's work that has to be done. And when you start paying attention to how much of it you're doing, then you can start seeing really where to focus your time, energy, and effort when it comes to sales. And so for me, it was really just about understanding what are the cadences, how often, when am I saying these things, so that I could just keep showing up, calling the damn leads, and knowing, hey, here's a predictable process to create revenue. How can they learn from it? So the thing is just to understand, if you have leads, right? You're in business and there's people who have given you their name, some sort of contact point, that's a lead. Well, what is the system and the process that you're using to consistently follow up with them? How are you tagging them or making notes about where they are in your sales process so that you know what the next move should look like? And so those are the kind of things that I like to really nerd out on, is like, hey, how do we build that systematic process for follow-up so that nothing falls through the cracks? And if you're, an entrepreneur or business owner that can't specifically say what is going to happen to a lead for the first 30 days when they get into our ecosystem, then this is a conversation you probably should be having with yourself. Because if you're spending any sort of money, time, energy, or effort to generate those leads, you should probably be looking at how you can get a return on that investment. And the follow-up is the key to that.
Is there a such thing as a dead lead? I think we may call them like cold, or because they're old, like a cold case, so to speak, in law enforcement. Is it ever too late to follow up, even if we had the system in place and something happened, we saw the reminder or the reminders went out and we just didn't act on it?
Yeah, that's a great question. So cold and dead, two different things, right?
Oh, okay.
If I'm out in the cold weather and I'm shivering, don't just leave me there. Come and save me, Audrey. Come on now. I'm not dead yet. I'm cold. So what I mean by that is a dead lead. Let's just say, like, what is an actual dead lead? Probably somebody that told you to stop calling or stop messaging them, right? Okay, cool. No problem. If you're not interested in a conversation at this time, I'll stop messaging you. That doesn't mean that dead lead might not see your stuff again in the future and reach back out and then remove themselves from the, hey, don't contact me thing, because if they reach out to you and ask you a question, they're prompting to be contacted again. If you have had them in your system for a year and they've never opened an email, they've never responded to any message, they've never answered any phone call in the dozens and dozens that you made that year, then you might move them into more of a dead category, right? Because you don't want to spend a lot of time on things that are non-responsive. But again, it doesn't mean that you might not send an email every 90 days to some of those dead leads that are just kind of out there in no man's land just to see if anything pops back up. I think it's really, and this is why I say, hey, what is the process that you're using? Because if you know someone who's been around for 90 days to 180 days is still potentially someone who could come back, then why wouldn't you want to stay in front of them? So that's where you have to kind of just narrow down depending upon your business model and kind of what you're doing, which is kind of a deeper conversation we could go into. I mean, I could nerd out on it all day. So I want to, don't want to go down that path too much. But I think that's where having structure in your routine is, hey, on Fridays, we call cold leads. We just spend an hour and we reach out to 50 or 100 cold leads in the database if we can, and just see if there's anything out there just looking to be saved, right? Maybe someone's out there on the boat shivering going, I wish somebody would save me. And you just happen to call them that day and they're like, my savior, tell me more. I want to work with you. Like, I know that sounds silly, Audrey, but that's what happens
Yeah,
when you start getting intentional and you reach back out to those leads and you have a process in place.
absolutely. All right, we're going to take another quick break and we'll be right back. Get your brim on. Since 1972, American Hat Makers has been dedicated to the art of fine hat making. Their diverse selection caters to outdoor adventurers, style-conscious individuals, and hat enthusiasts just like me. With a focus on meticulous detail and quality materials, I love wearing their hats. Embrace your own spirit of adventure and individuality. Visit bit.ly/hats now, bit.ly/hats now, or use our affiliate link in the show notes to view their vast selection of men's and women's styles. Drewbie, let's talk about sales burnout. It is a real thing. So, what's your best advice for reigniting motivation when the hustle starts to feel heavy?
Mm. So, we got to go back and look at what makes us passionate about the product or service that we offer. I think a lot of times burnout happens when you're kind of just like, I don't really know if this is even doing a whole lot for people, and I'm trying to help all these people and no one seems to want it. And so maybe it's not that good. You kind of get in your own head a little bit. So you got to go back to square one and say, hey, what is it that I do that truly helps other people? And once you're back focused on the service behind it, then having the conversation feels less cumbersome. Because when you're trying to do it from a transactional state, that energy comes across, and that's why some people are a little more resistant. They have their guard up because they can sense that need, versus when you're genuinely in the position of, I want to help this person if I can, you can remember that not everybody's going to need your help or want your help. And so you can start kind of just weeding through and saying, hey, anybody who doesn't need or want our help, I totally accept that. That's just part of the conversation. But I'm really excited for those people who do need our help and want our help. And you just go back to focusing on those conversations, because let's be honest, getting rejected sucks. No one wants to be told no. No one wants to get hung up on. No one wants to be called all sorts of things because someone else is having a bad day. But you got to remember, everybody's living their own day. And so it doesn't mean that you're bothersome. It doesn't mean that you're something bad. It just means that that person who you reached out to at that time was not interested in working with you. That's okay. And I think once you can get to that state of mind again, you can push through those hard times, because it's a roller coaster, right? You got lots of sales, lots of money, lots of freedom. That's awesome. And then if that goes down and you're like, I'm not making a lot of sales and I don't have a lot of money and I feel trapped, that's sucks. So that's why it's when you start setting the baselines of, hey, here's what I'm going to do as a non-negotiable every day. The roller coaster hills don't get as crazy. They're still coasters, but they're not as deep and as wild to ride through. So I think that's where the combination of the two, ideas really comes into play there.
You've built a strong connection with your online community. What's your formula for keeping that engagement authentic and consistent?
I actually swiped this from an old sales training that I had many, many years ago, but you stay true to form. Family, occupation, recreation, motivations. So when you're talking to someone in a sales conversation, that's four different categories that you can kind of ask questions around that most people are open to talking about. And social media content kind of works the same way. Because again, if we're trying to entertain and educate, then we want to share the things with people around who we are as our, what's important to us in our families and our relationships. Because that, from a buyer seller perspective, like people want to work with people that are good people. And so if your family, core values and things are in alignment, that's going to be helpful. Again, we mentioned that you can on occasion talk about what you do, your occupation, how you sell, how you help people and sell and products and services, all that can be conversed about as long as it's not super spammy or obnoxious. Everybody has hobbies, right? Audrey, for some of us, it's podcasting and creating amazing content that we know could go on to impact a massive part of the world in some way. Or maybe it's just one person that hears us today and it changes their life. That's why we do what we do. So kudos to you for being on this journey because I know it takes a lot to put this stuff together, but you can talk about those things because you have interest and other people have interest in similar things. And if you talk about it, guess what? You're going to make connections. And maybe they don't want to do business with you, but maybe they love you because you have the same interests and they want to send you referrals. That's what's so cool about social media is that when you're going about it that way, you're building genuine connections based on similar core values and alignment and interests. And that's where trust happens. And then from a motivational standpoint, to me, I work with a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs and sales professionals that deal with rejection every day. So we got to get that motivation to keep that energy up because if you don't keep the high energy, then other people feel that. And yet that high energy comes from having confidence. And when people see that you're confident, they feel more confident. It's like why one person gets nervous going down an alley, but a group of people don't because they have each other. There's group confidence there. So I think that's where if you kind of framework it around family, occupation, recreation, motivations, and then of course memes, because we all love seeing silly memes online, right, Audrey?
Right. That's right. That's right.
I think that's a great way to create genuine connection with people. And in my own experience, right, I can't speak for everybody, but my own experience and the clients that we've helped implement these strategies, you can see a direct correlation to the growth with how they're utilizing the content and the intentionality behind these social platforms.
All right. So, for someone ready to level up their online game, what truly makes a social presence magnetic and memorable?
Authenticity all day. Be who you are online, offline, everywhere you can. And just remember that there are going to be people who don't like you, and that's okay. I'm not saying go out there and be like a negative, mean, angry, hurtful person. Don't do that. But like be who you are, be genuine about it, and understand that you will attract the right people based on your core values and the content that you're putting out there.
Awesome. So, Drewbie, how can we follow you, get in touch with you? What are you doing? What's happening with you, your own podcast? And is there anything that you want us to plug into in particular?
So, biggest thing that you can do to connect with me first, share this episode, right? Say, hey, listen, I heard Drewbie and Audrey talking about it, and Drewbie said some stuff that was kind of smart, and I was surprised, but it was really smart. So check it out. That would tell me and Audrey that you really got value out of your time here. And your time is your most valuable asset. Y'all are going to make more money, but your time that you spent here is valuable. So we would feel awesome to know that you were willing to share this out on social media and then tag at Call the Damn Leads. We're on all platforms, all brand congruent, because that's a part of being a great business owner and brand builder is keeping everything, congruent. I mean, go to callthedamnleads.com. We have swag. I have written books. We have training. We have a podcast. We have all sorts of free content and materials over there you can download and trainings and all sorts of good stuff. But the biggest thing is just understand that if you are here listening right now, we appreciate you and we're excited to see what happens. So what we would love you to do is also send us a message and say, hey, this is something I heard and it was awesome and I did it and it worked, because that reminds us that we're really doing something great. And I just want to say thanks again, Audrey, for giving me that chance.
Oh man, you're welcome, Drewbie, and I really appreciate you being here today. And we aren't done yet, but but so far what's what's been spilled out over here has been just amazing. Really, really appreciate you. So Tech Diva Nation, make sure you plug in. You've got the website called thedamnleads.com, and you'll be able to find the social, the podcast, and everything else that Drewbie has for us to plug into. All right. So as we get ready to close out, we're gonna do this rapid fire thing here that I've started up. You ready? Let's sit up
Yeah, come on,
in
come
our
on, bring it
seats.
at me. I'm ready. I'm
Yeah.
ready. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's do this.
All right, I'm about to throw it at you, baby. Oh, okay. No excuses, just action. Number one, email or DM. Which one gets your faster response?
DM.
One word that describes your sales style.
Laid back.
What's a phrase people need to delete from their vocabulary? Did I say that right? Vocabulary today.
Can't.
Ooh, okay. If motivation had a soundtrack, what song would be Crush the Day played to?
Oh, I got you.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
So the Crush the Day theme song would be How to Be the Man by Jody High Roller, aka Riff Raff.
All right. All right. All right, y'all. Okay, last one. What's your go-to power move when life tries to crush you first?
Pray with God.
Amen. And it's over.
Amen. Hey, listen, there ain't nobody else bigger on this or entire universe that can do anything else other than God and myself showing up and doing what needs to be done.
Yes, that is so true. Same here. So thank you again for your energy, your expertise, your heart, Drewbie. This has been an awesome time.
Thank you.
That's it for today's Tech Diva Biz Talks. Hope you caught a gem or two. If you did, share it, review it, and most of all, put it into action. Until next time, tune in, level up, and talk tech.